I thought it would be a good idea to review the original animated Grinch this year. The only problem is, I've never actually seen it. So I'm going to watch it right now and then get back to you. Okay, so like I said, I've never actually seen this cartoon before. I know of it, of course, because it's a massive part of Christmas. And I know of it because of the movie Home Alone when Kevin is watching TV and the Grinch is on. But I've never actually seen it all the way through. So today I watched it for the very first time and I didn't watch it through nostalgia goggles, and yet it makes me feel so nostalgic. Despite never seeing it, I do know the story of the Grinch. The Grinch hates Christmas and happiness, so he steals all of the Christmas presents from Whoville, but when they awake on Christmas morning to find their gifts missing, it does not kill their Christmas or community spirit, which makes the Grinch realise the error of his ways. And despite never seeing this film, the more familiar part of this cartoon for me is the song. I kind of feel like it's unavoidable at this time of year, and it's so iconic.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
And I was also shocked to learn that the song was performed by Phil Ravencroft, who did the voice of Tony the Tiger on the Kellogg's Frosty adverts. And I was very surprised to learn that the Grinch and the narrator in the animation was voiced by Boris Karloff, Frankenstein's monster himself. All in all, it's quite a simplistic cartoon, and I'm a sucker for traditional hand-drawn animation, so this was right up my street. And apparently this cartoon was responsible for the Grinch being green after the animator Chuck Jones decided to colour in the same shade of green as his car. But in the 1957 book, he had no colour at all. The Grinch was actually black and white. And the way the Grinch was animated actually reminded me a lot of the old cartoons that I used to watch as a kid, like the Pink Panther and the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. And it turned out when I did a little bit more research that Chuck Jones actually created quite a few Looney Tune cartoon characters, and I believe he also worked on some of the Tom and Jerry cartoons. So it's no wonder that I felt this connection between the two. Perhaps the reason the Grinch feels so nostalgic to me, despite never actually seeing it as a kid, is down to the fact that I grew up watching so many cartoons that Chuck Jones actually worked on. And despite it looking a little bit dated, it's still an awesome bit of animation with some pretty cool transitions here and there. And I particularly like the scene where the Grinch is trying to stop the sleigh full of toys falling over the cliff. And you can really see the desperation in the Grinch as he's trying to pull it back over the cliff. And that's all down to the way it was animated. It was animated beautifully. And of course, the famous Grinch smile that I had seen so many times before despite never actually seeing this animated special. And I believe the first time I saw the Grinch's smile was in Home Alone 2 when they do that really cool transition from the Grinch to Tim Curry. I think the moral of the story with the Grinch is that we don't need material things to be full of joy. The Who's had all the gifts taken away from them and they still sang in the street full of happiness. And of course this makes the Grinch's heart grow 3 times bigger to see everyone come together, and it's the perfect ending that is simple but effective. Now, like I said, I have actually seen the Jim Carrey version and I've seen the CGI version which came out a couple of years ago, and I love those movies, but with this one there is something very special about it. It just really filled me with a traditional nostalgic feel, and when you take into account that I've only just watched this for the very first time today, I think that speaks wonders for this festive animated gem.